Earlier on, my colleague Michael Gitonga and our resident analyst, Professor Michael Wanaina, and I had a conversation at length about Trump's speech to Congress this morning. Let's listen into that conversation, courtesy of Morning Express. We may have to say, as Kenya, move towards fronting presidential candidates and politicians who have a background in business. And
I think it's all about having a vision and a constituency that you can appeal to. And I think this is what Prof was saying the other day, whereby you need to have, first of all, what is it that you're bringing on the table? What is it that you have to offer? And with Trump, he had quite a number of things to offer, some of them controversial, but they resonate with the American. And I think, talking about consistency, he's talked about making America great again. And I think for the average American who's grown up in America, they definitely resonate with that because they feel there are all these foreigners who've come in and it's become literally a nation of foreigners and people who do not belong to America. But according to Trump, it's about making it and focusing on the American and making America great again. So definitely, well, of course, I'm sure there's going to be analysis carrying on, but comparing and also bringing in what, Prof, you're saying and being flip-floppy. I don't know where we'll ever get to a point as the electorate because it is the people that have the power. It is the people that actually dictate who goes to power. But at the same time, we still seem to put the same clowns back.
We do seem to put the same clowns back. And this is a recurring theme. I have said before, ethnicity has two sons, impunity and mediocrity. For so long as their father is protecting them, there is nothing you can do with impunity and mediocrity. Every time you want to hold people accountable, impunity reminds you who its father is, ethnicity. I'll give you a short example. There is an issue with the Auditor General. Yes, there are some people who, now when you read today's papers, it has become an ethnic issue. And they're saying, can't a Luo hold a high position in this country? I'm not saying he's guilty. I'm not saying he's innocent. You can see the direction that discussion is taken. Whether we agree with the issues or not, the American politics is driven by issues. They may be alien to us, they may be divisive, but if you're a Republican, you can claim to stand for something. If you're a Democrat, you can claim to stand for nothing. Here, the politicians stand for nothing, so you support them because they come from your ethnic background.
I mean, let's focus a bit on his immigration laws and his stance, because that's what's been most controversial, I believe, since he took the presidency. And many condemned him for his decision, especially blacklisting the 7 countries and withholding the visas. But now he seems to have a change of heart, or not really a change of heart. This was probably part of his plan. But now he's talking of introducing an immigration reform bill that could grant legal status to millions of undocumented individuals in the U.S. So do you feel like people were too quick to judge without knowing what he was planning?
Well, people are too quick to judge because there was a sense in which I personally felt that because of his newness and because of the way he threw out the rule book, there was inability to deal with this new phenomenon, especially in the media. Personally, I've never had any problems with his immigration laws. Every time he talks about immigration and what he wants to do about it, I agree. It's the job of the government to protect its people. And the job of government, I have always said, is to govern. And if it feels that it is unable to govern because of whatever issues, including immigration, it is the job of government to do something about it. So every time he said, we're going to deport the thieves, we're going to deport the rapists, we're going to vet people, I've never had
That's his job. That's his job. Maybe one of the statements that he made now that we're on immigration was the fact that he mentioned or said something to the effect that it is a very big privilege for you to have an American visa. Your thoughts on that? Because it gave me the feeling like it's such a high price. I am so privileged to be able to visit America.
Actually, that's the way he put it, that for those people who get the high honor, of being admitted into America. This, Michael, is what I've been talking about, grand narratives and how we build narratives. And it is not just Trump who is building this narrative. Remember, our own press here, our own media here, I hear things that make me cringe. They will talk about the American president as the most powerful man in the world. They will talk about America as the only superpower in the world. These are narratives. Unfortunately, we are so keen to repeat and to ape and to affirm other people's narratives, we don't create our own. Yes, and that's a problem.
All right, finally, he also looked at Obamacare, and of course, again, talking about consistency, he's been very consistent that Obamacare is not working for America, and that still came up, and he said that it's time to repeal it and replace. But again, I think it resonated with Congress, if the standing ovation is anything to go by, because he said that this needs to be done quickly, but at the same time, ensure that you take care of those who are already on
because they do need to put in measures to ensure whatever they're going to replace Obamacare with is also for the benefit of most Kenyans. But just before we wind up, there's a very fact, Americans, sorry.
Yes. To be nice to benefit Kenyans.